You wouldn't let this happen to your cell phone, so why do it to yourself? Find out what I'm talking about next. What's up, guys? This is Pedro from My Stuttering Life, where as always, you hear the good, the bad, the very ugly. We're going to laugh, we're going to cry through it all. Just know that you are not alone. So let's get started. So what are we talking about? You wouldn't let your cell phone, your BFF, do this. So why do we do it to ourselves? You know, we have to recharge these often. And what we don't realize is that we have to do the same thing. We have got to do the same thing. We have to recharge. So what we're talking about today is self-care. And ooh, those S's. Ooh, okay, let me bring it back in. Hold on. It's still Colombian. Angela Marston. I gotta find me some Jamaican. So let's pull it back in. All right. Breathing. So we're talking about self-care and self-love. See how cool it is? Just breathe. Self-care and self-love. So it is super important because, you know, we're in this pandemic, we're self-isolating, self-quarantining. We have to do all this special stuff in this new normal that we've never had to do before. And it's, to be honest, it's stressing people out. It's freaking people out. And so it is super important that we learn to self-care because, see, and the airline industry, they got this right. Ooh, they got this right. You know, when you hop on an airplane, you know, pre-COVID-19, pre-pandemic, if you hop on an airplane, you know how they give their presentation, the Essex, take two. The exits are in the front, in the middle, and in the rear. And as they are doing their presentation, they are also talking about, in case of turbulent weather, there will be a mask dropping from the ceiling, and you will put it on yourself first, and then you may help others. See, that's the key. You put it on yourself first. Because how can you help another person if you're like, you know, you aren't getting the oxygen that you need while you're up there in that plane. So we have to take that and use it in our everyday lives. So what we need to do is, as we are doing self-care and self-love, we will put the mask metaphorically on us first. And as we are doing that, then we are able to help other people. Because you know what people say, you can't drink from an empty cup. That's good advice. Which reminds me one more time. Oh, God, that's good. So there's a quote by Audre Lorde. I have come to believe that that self-care is not self-indulgent. Caring for myself is an act of survival. See, that's pretty powerful. Thank you, Audre Lorde. Let me repeat that. I have come to believe that caring for myself is not self-indulgent. Caring for myself is an act of survival. Because, you know, we all got to take care of ourselves. These are some stressful times. People are at home drinking all day, and that's you know, I've never done that. I've never drank all day, but I digress. So, it is important that we do things to take care of ourselves, to charge us up. And let me tell you, I've spoken to a lot of people who stutter, and they tell me that when they're all stressed, when they're all under all this pressure, they tend to stutter more. And for me, that's also the case. And when I'm exhausted, I mean, when I'm just beat down, dead exhausted, I can only talk for me. I don't stutter, but for a lot of people, they do. So it is important that we recharge, that we do what the airlines been telling us for decades, to put the mask on ourselves first, take care of ourselves, and then we can take care of other people. That is important. So, how do you self care? What do you do to recharge? Now, I recently bought a bike, but let me tell you, it took me at least 4 weeks, 5 weeks to actually find a bike. During this pandemic, COVID-19, everything, I went to 4 different stores to find a bike, and so I can bike ride because I live by the water, and so I thought how I could recharge is hop on a bike and just bike ride by the water and just hear the ocean, and just let that recharge me. Now, there are no bikes, zero bikes on the racks at these stores. The only bikes they had were for toddlers. And I'm a grown man, so I need at least a 26-inch bicycle. So after I got tired of driving all over the place, I went online, found an awesome bike, and so it came in. I had it assembled because I'm past that stage in my life. Just hire people. Pay the money, get it done, because I have things that I got to do. And so now I bike ride. I bike ride for at least an hour, and it is awesome because you're outside in the sun. You're soaking up the sun's energy, and you're in the fresh air, and it's a different environment. With this self-quarantining, self-isolating, oh, my country comes out. With really back. So when you're doing all of this, you're just in your home just looking at the four walls. Or you're watching the news 24/7. And for me, I stopped watching it because it was depressing, and it was making me paranoid, and it was making me think of all these conspiracy theories, and I stopped watching the news. I get my local updates from my phone, the weather and everything else, but I stopped watching the news because it was depressing. It was stressful. It was just freaking me out. And so I stopped. I started to do self-care. I do things that I love to do. I love to take pictures. So I go out and I bring my camera and I do photography. Or I ride my bike. I'm out in the open air. I'm out in the sun. I'm recharging my body because it is important. You wouldn't let your best friend die, would you? No, you're always plugging it back in and recharging and recharging. Why can't we do that with our lives? Why can't we do that? I started doing that. I'm recharging. I'm doing some self-care, some self-love. I'm reading books. I'm getting outside. I'm doing things that I love because it makes me feel good. I'm recharged, and so I'm ready to handle the next day. Also, I'm trying, see, trying. I'm trying to get a full 8 hours. It's just, I've never had 8 hours of sleep. I'm trying. But, I was military. So, we would always get up early you know, once you have kids, you never sleep. I mean, come on, let's testify. You never sleep when you have kids. And so as I'm older, I get about 5 to 6 hours, and then I'm pretty good. I'm trying. Eight is a magic number. I'm trying to get eight, but I guess it's just a work in progress. How many hours of sleep do you get per night? Drop a comment and let me know. And lastly, self care is important not only for your body, but for your mind and your soul. Just recharge everything, and so that way you are ready to handle life's everyday stressors. One of my neighbors, um, she was telling me that she has found adult coloring books. They have those big ones, you know, uh, and you buy map pencils, and you know, these adult coloring books have all these intricate designs, and then you spend quite a bit of time coloring them. And for her, she finds it very therapeutic. Now, I'm going to do more research because I want to see if that helps me out. Because, back in the day when I was in school, I liked to color in a coloring book, as we all did. So I'm curious if the adult coloring books will have the same impact on me today like they did back in my day. And lastly, I meditate. All y'all know this. I started meditation, mindful meditation last December. And let me tell you, it's a game changer because every day I breathe for 10 minutes. I have a chair in my bathroom, as we all do, no judging. And so I sit in my bathroom, and so there are some skylights. So I sit under the skylights, and then I just breathe. And then I can feel the sunshine hitting me, and I'm just breathing. And then every once in a while, you'll have a bird pooping on there, but that's a whole other story. And so for 10 minutes every day, I'm breathing. And I'm focusing on my breath, and I'm focusing on my affirmations. This is going to be a great day. After I do some work, I'm going to bike ride. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go by the water, by the beach, and just soak in the fresh air and the sunshine. So I do this every single day. I meditate because for me, it's so relaxing to have your whole body just rest. Because if you're a stutterer, your body is like this. It's like this 24/7. But if you're relaxed, all of your organs are relaxed, and I'm focusing on my breathing. I'm not focusing on my stutter. I'm focusing on breathing. I'm focusing on living. I'm focusing on being present in the here and now. And I'm practicing self care, self love. I love Pedro. I want to take care of Pedro. I need to recharge. And how I do it is I do all these things. So I want you to let me know, do you practice self-care? What do you do to take care of your body, your mind, and your soul? What do you do? Because in these stressful times, in these uncertain times, we can all pretty much lose it at any time. But it's important that we practice self-care, we breathe, we focus on ourselves first, because you can't help another person if you ain't got nothing. If you have something, then you can go help out people. But it starts with you. You come first. Focus on you. Think of yourselves on an airplane and the stewardesses and the mask comes down. You do you first. Once you're done, you can do everybody else. But you come first. You come first. You come first. So I want you to drop me a comment. Let me know, do you self-care? What do you do to practice self-care and self-love? Because we're all in this together. We're all in this together. So I want you to share, like. If you like this comment, content, take 2. If you like this content, like, share, and subscribe, because we're all in this together. I want y'all to have an awesome day, and we will talk again.